Hey traders, I just wanted to do an update on some of the cryptos. I thought I'd do a video instead of trying to write anything. All right, getting started. I just wanted to, as we head up, I'm just going to get started on some of this. I've got a fair bit to cover, so and not very much time to do it in because I've got a time limit on how long my YouTube videos can be at this stage. So as you can see, we've got a big push up here, and then we've pulled back. What's interesting in this pullback is a decline in volume. What this basically means is there's consolidation happening, and it means that no one wants to sell. And so because there's no one selling, there's no big spikes in volume, and there's no, otherwise we'd have, like this kind of thing here over here. But because there's less and less volume, that means no one's selling. And what's actually happened is institutions and big money starting to buy in at these levels here, but they're only buying what everyone else is selling. Then we've kind of broken through and we've headed up, and now have a look at this. This volume here is just like flatlined. So basically, what this is saying to me is that at this stage, no one is looking at selling this. We're all sitting on the sidelines waiting to see, okay, well, what's going to happen to this market from here? Are big boys going to start, pushing this up? Are they going to sell it off? No one knows. One thing that is for sure is that institutions, so there was a big sell-off happened here, and then institutions started buying back in again around about here and closed it back at this price here. Usually what we see after one of these candles here is a sideways to down, but especially after a big decline, and we see these near the bottom, it struggles to reach and go below these. Now, that's not to say that it can't, it definitely can, but more often than not, it will turn around and won't breach these low prices for a while and be heading up. I just wanted to point that out. I'm just going to go through some of these charts just so that we can kind of go, these are just some that kind of they kind of stood out to me a little bit. So here we got a nice climb up. This is big institutional selling there, huge. Come down, made a double top, big sell off, found support, previous chart, and then bounced on the 50 and then up, and then it's to here. But the only problem is here, look at this. This could be looking at like almost like a triple top kind of a thing here. Here especially on this big increase, especially this last candle here. Okay, we've got stochastics oversold. We're going up. Yep, things are looking good. Now, have a look at this. The biggest candle, the strongest candle had no volume. Like it had the weakest volume of the lot, but yet it's the biggest candle of the rally, which basically says to me that there's less buying, there's less interest up at these prices here where the double top was, which basically says to me there's a good chance that we could possibly come down to, I don't know, wherever, 60. But in saying that though, in the last 5-6 days, we've gone from $53 to $73. So that's not bad for Luna. It's having a go, which is good. So I would have Luna on your watch list if you don't have it on there, and also Avalanche as well, because Avalanche, here we're going up, come down, and then we've got a little decline in selling here, which basically meant that like big institutions weren't selling that; they were collecting at these prices here. Stochastics were oversold, bounced on a previous chart resistance, and now support, and it's gone from $78 to $113, which is pretty good. Matic, let's have a look at that. Matic, same again, but have a look at this. There's a problem with this here. A big decline in volume on this rise. Now, the only problem with this rise here is that it's got a lot of wicks and stuff like that. It's quite whiskey, and now this to me I don't like, and also it could potentially be a head and shoulders pattern. Also, let's have a look at the close on this one here. That candle looks fraction higher. So the close here was sorry, that's the open. The close $2.2338, and the open here was $2.2385. So here we've opened it's only half a cent, but we've opened half a cent higher, which means that there was bigger orders to go in. But the volume isn't reflecting that. That is not institutions buying that. This is mums and dads buying, getting all excited, thinking, yep, we're going to go up. Big institutions, I reckon, by the looks of this here, even though it's heading up, this kind of setup looks right for a pullback, as far as I'm concerned anyway. But, I'm not going to trade what I think. I'm going to trade what the candles tell me to do. So at this stage, there's no action. All I wanted to do was, just have a quick look around to see what sort of volume, what the volume was doing and all that sort of stuff with these markets. Now, if we have a look at this one here, good support, break through a little bit, and good support there as well. And we've gone up above the 50, now above the 200, up and then down, up and then down. And then we've come back to here. Now we've found support on that same line again. And also there's previous, yeah, there's a little bit there. Yeah, I can see that there's support, resistance, support, yeah, on the bodies of those candles there. And we found support here. And also on top of that, we've got an engulfing pattern that's closed above the 9 EMA. Stochastics are oversold and volumes on the decline, which basically means that there's no selling. Institutions are buying at these levels here, but they don't want to buy and like skyrocket this thing up. All they want to do is slowly accumulate their positions. One thing I wanted to point out as well is that when we see these kind of things here, especially at the top, yes, we know it's coming down. When we see these here towards the bottom, that's usually like, this is institutions. So, there's thousands of institutions, but they all think reasonably the same. So it's gone up and then down, and then institutions have pulled it back to that price there. And then there's still a little bit more of a sell-off. And here, it's opened all the way up there, come all the way down here, and back at this support here as institutions started buying a fraction above this support, and then took it all the way back up to there. Now we've found support again, and have a look at that. We've got an engulfing pattern closing above the 9 with declining volume, basically meaning that nobody's selling, or a lot less people are selling at this stage, and not many people are selling. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But here we are seeing some positive signs at these levels. Let's keep on moving. Engulfing pattern closing above the 9, a little bit of green there. Stochastics oversold. Now I'm not putting these out there to say, hey, let's go and buy. You're always going to be a lot better off buying in the direction of the trend, and at the moment the direction of the trend is not up. We're kind of going sideways, and we're showing promise with some of the new leaders. And the reason why this is kind of making a difference to me is because they're new and they're leaders. And so when we see, like Dash, Monero, Litecoin, and all those, they're not new and they're not the leaders anymore. So we've got, the Mana and Cake and HBAR and, all these other new issues that have come out that are leading the show. And we can kind of see that there's, like engulfing patterns happening at previous support and resistance kind of levels. And on to the next one. So here we are, we've got increasing volume here, which is good to see. We've got, this is beautiful. This here is, looking very much like a buy, but I do like it to be showing some other things. But have a look at the volume. We've got 3 increasing volume, a massive decline in selling volume, and then we've got a massive increase in buying volume. This, I love the look of this volume here. This looks really good. And we can see that increase in buying volume up here, and we can see that there's selling volume, yes, but we can also see that there's accumulation volume as well, in here. On this decline here, yeah, we can see selling, but it's not massive selling. It's not mad selling. Also, let's have a look at this here. The biggest spike here, what does this mean? It opened there, traded up a little bit, traded all the way down. Big money started buying around about this price here and took it all the way back to the 200. It didn't break and go below that below this marker here, and it went up and now it closed above the 200 in this beautiful looking scenario. With the volume like that, stochastics oversold, and away we go. I do like that. So let's have a look at Mana. Okay, so come on, let's go chart. Here we go. No volume, no volume, bang, all the way up and then down, and then we're declining volume again, and then we've come all the way down to here on the previous. And let's just have a look at see if we can find any support, previous support there. Oh yeah, I can see that. Yep, on the bodies there, the wicks there, wicks all the way across here, and here we go. So here we go, we've got a bounce and a close above, engulfing reversal pattern, which have a look at, how many sellers we're here, how many buyers we're here. We can see down, actually, let's just open this up a little bit. So we can see, the volume there, like down here, we can see that there's a decline in selling volume, only just, but we can see that there's a little bit more buying volume at these levels here, which is good. And so bouncing on that, on the support, engulfing pattern, closing above the 9. This isn't an indication to buy, but I'm just showing that there is strength in these markets still. Big money is here, and that's on Mana. Now this one here, same again. We've got a bounce on support, and all of a sudden we've got an engulfing pattern above. Now we've got in the last, week or 2 weeks or whatever, we've got institutional money coming, so here we are, there's selling, there's, or actually, sorry, there's a reduction of selling and buying, which basically means that less people are selling, big money's got their orders in to buy whatever people are selling, and then that's when it's kind of stopped around about here. But this is big money as well. They've come down, big money is bought back in and headed up to there. And they've done it on a support line. If I go all the way back, I can see the support there, and support there. And look at that. That's the first red candle of this entire rally. What do you know? Going up, low, high, higher low, higher high. So by definition, we've got the very first stages of a short-term uptrend, which is good. And we've got volume starting to accumulate. We've got an engulfing pattern that's closed above. After we can see that accumulation candles have been happening here as well. But how far do we expect this to go? Not very far really. I might only go to there, who knows, and then consolidate and go sideways for a while. We don't know. But what the main point is that I'm trying to say here is that there is strength, there is difference coming back into this market here. Actually, this sort of setup is quite similar to my Doge entry that I had with Doge. And this is the same kind of thing, just explained in a different way. If you saw the video I did last, you'll probably see that this will coincide with the video I did last time, and you can kind of see my reasoning, for liking this kind of a setup here. Okay, what do we got? 11 minutes in, and and have a look at this here. So I do like this here, and so I am getting a new mouse. I don't know if it's the way I'm holding it or what, but here we go. We've come up, pull back, support, and here we are. Like there's some super wide trading going on up the top there, but and we've kind of gone down over here, found support, and we've got a good increase in volume. So let's just have a look. We'll have a closer look at this thing here. Oh, I'm gonna get a new mouse for Christmas. I don't know. I think I've got about 3 of them here, but this is the first one I could find. So now, having a look here, I was having a look at, I kind of break down to the shorter time frames just to see what's going on, especially at these levels here. But we can see an increase in volume starting to happen. Stochastics are oversold. We can see the big money came in, sold off, and bought it back to there. And now, actually, I think it did go just below big money there. But we can also see that there's a decline in selling. A decline in volume, I should say, decline in volume, which would indicate to me that there's a decline in selling. So big money around these prices here had all their orders in to buy, and no one else wanted to sell. So all there was accumulation of shares that other investors didn't want to hold anymore because it was too low. So I just wanted to go down, and we'll just have a look at a 15-minute chart. All right. Now let's just have a look. I just want to show you, just show you this quickly. Oh man, drive me nuts this mouse, hey? So back here, we can see that we've come down, we've hit a low, and we've bounced, hit the 50, it's traded below the 50, and now we've got 2 points. So we can mark a line from this to this. And we've got, this is a morning star. Like this is a beautiful reversal. Here's an engulfing pattern that started off. Here's a morning star. Really, it's an engulfing pattern just designed, just looks at a different way. It's come down. We've got a reversal hammer, and then we've got a gap up engulfing the previous red candle, and then closing above the 9. And then look what's happened after this. This is on the 15-minute chart, and then it's gone up, and then it's pulled back, and then it's gone to there again. And we can kind of see that there's good volume accumulation happening here. Then we've come back down, we've bounced perfectly on that same line. Here, I just wanted to show that on those last 2 touches, that they were pretty accurate. Like they didn't actually, this one was a fraction below, but I mean, I could have pulled that down a little bit. Actually, let's just do that anyway. Okay, now we'll go over. Now, this is institutional money. Taking out everyone's stop losses, because everyone's drawn a line up here and said, okay, if it goes below here, I'm out. This is heading down, it's heading down. I put my stop loss just below here. All the big money knows this. So they just go down and they want these shares cheap. So they'll go down there, get everyone's stop loss, and they'll pick these shares up cheap, And then they've got rid of the investors that don't want to hold this anymore because they've been holding it from up here, and they go, no, if it goes down below there, I don't want it anymore. And then bang, have a look at the run that happened after that decline. It's a pretty good run. And then also they've done the same again here, but closing above the 9, and then bang, away we go. Found support on the 50 and then took off. As soon as we found support, bounced on the 50 and took off. It's beautiful. Have a look at the volume that came in there too. But where are we now? So we've gone up, and also this line here, if I can just kind of take that out a little bit further, I don't know how accurate that is there, but here we can kind of see like all the big money knows about this line here, and so they know that they've gone up and over, and now they've gone back below. So here we are trading below the 50. Will we bounce on the 200 and go up? Who knows? But I just want to show that on the 15-minute chart. Let's have a look back on the daily, and we'll have a look. And so we've got an increase in buying volume, a rise in buying volume, like this is good on support. And we've got, this is like a rocket booster. I'm just going to get rid of that jargon so just so you can see a little bit better. But this is what is called a rocket booster on my left here. So it's opened there and it's traded down. And then it's traded up, back through the open, closed above the 9. So as you can see, like this is the stick that goes in the ground, and then this is the rocket, and away it goes. And so a rocket booster is exactly what it says, it's called that for a reason. But, we can see the big money came in here, sold off, bought back, and then we've traded below here, taking the stops out, below big money's there. They probably thought there was a little bit more liquidity down here that they could pick up. They've gone down there and picked it up, and now they're off again. But, this is not an indication to buy. I mean, here 200 is moving down, 50 is moving down. We might actually get, like a bit of a run up, down, sideways. Who knows what this thing's going to do? No one knows what it's going to do, but we just got to trade the market the way we see it as best we can. Here, resistance. I don't think I've done this one before. Stochastics oversold, increase in buying volume, which is perfect, exactly what we want. We don't have any engulfing pattern there. We can see big money was here, sold off, came up, and look at this. We've got a reduction in selling after big money played the game. A reduction in selling. Here we go. So, that's just kind of saying, just what I've been saying the whole time, is that anyone else that wanted to sell, big money had their orders down here to buy. And so less and less people wanted to sell, so big money bought less and less. And so that's why we see the volume declining. But have a look at this. Big money turned around and started to get interested straight away. This isn't mums and dads money buying at these levels here. So we can see a good increase there. I just wanted to point that out and show you that one there. Okay, so here I don't really know what's going to happen here. I can't really put that on that. I'm just going to get rid of that. I wouldn't have a clue where it's going to go. But here we can see that the 200, we've bounced on the 200. We can see the big money's come in and sold off and pulled back and bounced on the 200. And who was buying down here these orders at the 200? And that not only the 200, but we've got previous chart support and resistance. And what happened straight after that when it bounced on there and it's gone up. Also, not to mention that was the low and this is a little bit higher. So this is the last point of supply here. So basically, if we have a look here, big money was getting impatient because there was less and less people wanting to sell. And at this stage here, they're just thinking, far out, man. Okay, we're going to see if we can have one big sell-off, and then we'll pick up the last of the liquidity, and then we'll start buying. And then that's exactly what's happened here, But, they've got previous resistance, support. And I was actually expecting for this to be resistance for a while and pull back. I don't know what it's going to do, but, it's just kind of, it's looking all right. And it's gone from, $35 up to $53 or whatever it is, somewhere around there. Sand, here we go, decline. And, it's the same story again. Less and less people want to sell this one. And we've got a rocket booster after a doji engulfing, hasn't closed above the 9. Here we go, we've got a doji engulfing, hasn't closed above the 9. Actually, I think it did close above the 9. Yeah, it did, only just, but it's not a strong candle. Stochastics oversold. I don't know, these market environments. I actually want to see something good and positive. I've got an alert here to say, okay, well, if it goes above that price there, if it trades above that price there, let me know and I'll come over and have a look. And here again, actually this is quite scrappy, this one here, SOL. What's going to happen here, I don't know. But this one here, I wasn't all that keen on this one, to be honest. Like Sol, it's a big, strong one, and a lot of people like it. and it has found support there, and it's gone up. But this still looks pretty scrappy to me. Like, why? Okay, we closed above the 9, and then we've got two candle pullback, and then we've got an engulfing that's closed above the 9, which is good. That's good. Good volume there. Bit of selling, and we're going to decline in the volume here. But if we could see volume pick up today, that would be good. But have a look at where we're heading. Look at that blue line there. So it looks to me like we've got resistance, support, a little bit of congestion there. What are we headed to? We're headed straight to resistance. So if we can smash through that and close above that, all the better. If we do, I don't know, but we'll have a look. I've got 20 minutes again. So here we are. I just want to check this out. So we've got an engulfing pattern that's closed below the 9. Engulfing pattern that's closed below the 9. Engulfing pattern that's closed below the 9. This here is on the British pound US dollar. I got some of these currencies mixed up with my currencies. With the crypto market as well. So now I don't know if this is going to happen. But one thing here is have a look at the big selling that's going on here. Now all this has happened since the Feds decided to raise the interest rates and all that sort of stuff, and decide to taper and all that sort of stuff. So basically, they're devaluing the dollar drastically. So inflation is very soon going to skyrocket. What we see with inflation happening already, like cars have gone up 25% in 12 months. That's just an example. This is the beginning. Gone up and pull back, a massive pullback. Now, what's going to happen here? I'm actually, I don't think this is finished. Yes, we've climbed up. We've gone decline, a decline in volume on the way up, which is not good. And we've got an engulfing pattern that's closed below the 50. I don't know what's going to happen, but this to me looks quite negative. If this doji turns red, we'll see. We'll wait and see what happens. Okay, here we go. Got support at the 50. Decline in volume. Not much is going on there. Just thought I'd throw that one out there and have a look. Let's have a look at some of the old ones. This will be the last of it, and then I've got to pull the pin. 22 minutes in. Look at that. So here we go. Nothing. Decline in volume, yes, but it hasn't done anything. That's dash. So these being the previous leaders. Engulfing pattern, bouncing on the 200. Yep, it's good. I'm finding more excitement in the others than these ones here. Zcash is probably the best one out of these ones. Litecoin, yep, good. Bounce on support there. We'll wait and see what happens. Decline in volume, so not many people want to sell it, which is good. And Monero, have a look at Monero. Yep, we've got support all the way back there, and this is bouncing on support. Less people want to sell it, but we'll wait and see what happens with Monero. Anyway, if you have any questions, I hope this helps. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm always open for a chat. And 22 minutes in, got to go. Have a good day. Talk to you soon. See ya.